Friggin' cool. Hey, there we are. Hey, good evening, LinkedIn. Dave Wilson of the Ring of Hire Show. How you doing, Kara?
I'm doing great. How are you, David?
Now that this computer is back up and friggin' running and all the friggin' gray hair pulling all this stuff, I'm doing good. But everybody, we'll be right back after this. We're going to interview Kara, and we're going to have a great interview. I still love that. Don't you?
Of course you do. It's amazing.
Yeah, you know what? That guy, his name is Dark 2019, and he's in Bulgaria or one of those countries for the Fever app, whatever you call it. We make them he knows me for 2 years. We'll make that in 1 hour. I put the images, what I feel, and he goes ahead and does this magic.
Amazing. It's a global world now.
It is, and $17 later with a $5 tip, that's it. All right, everybody, It's great to be back on show here. Had a couple days off, had some problems, and it's all back up and going good. But I have Kera Fonseca, close?
Fonseca,
okay.
Just
from
Kera.
Kera, all right, Kera.
Yeah.
All the way from Houston, Texas. Now, I'm in Pennsylvania, so Philadelphia Eagles, Pittsburgh. I know you're like Houston or Dallas, right?
Yeah.
Dallas?
I went to UT, so Longhorn, Dallas Cowboys, Houston Astros. I'm just a mix.
Mix? Oh, my God. Mr. Tuvia, I had computer problems. It's been about a week, so he's all the way back. You know, Kara, you got to reach out. Have you connected with Tuvia?
Mm-hmm.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Because the reason I had Kara back on the show is I've had her on, and we've talked about ATSs, recruiting, and then the first show I had you on, I was interviewing you. The same thing. So, I've gotten to know Kara for over the year, and she was really going good and doing things, and then all of a sudden I see on there that you got laid off.
Yes.
I know, right? That's a great way.
It's gonna roll with the punches. Well, my last company, I got on the show with you because they were laying off the rest of my team. I didn't want to get laid off. Who wants to sit and wait for their job to wind down? That's not fun.
Right.
I like to work, and so I went and got this amazing opportunity at Zillow. Like my top company that I wanted to work for. I just thought I was so lucky. Was having a great time. They started to slow down the business because we had some bottlenecks. And then just one day I shut down, and the next day it was over. So
I know. I saw that post, and we've known each other for a while through videos, and I was like, oh, I got to reach out and see what happened.
Yeah.
Oh, we have Janie all the way from Australia. Australia, see?
Yeah.
Janie, I hope everything's going well. Yeah, she's all the way. She's always tunes in. I think the time difference is pretty far,
Okay, yeah.
But tell us Kara, refresh everybody's memory here. What do you do, and what do you like to do, and what type of work?
Yeah, I'm a program manager. I've been doing this for 5 years. I love to just execute on programs that deliver process improvement, ongoing continuous improvement. I do a lot of transformation. So like, let's say you need to transition from one system to another. You need to outsource part of your businesses. I've done all of that kind of work, and I'm the person that really works with people, get to know their pain points, solve problems, and get us there in the quickest, easiest way possible. That's what I love to do.
So break that down to like a job title for me. If you had to say like a job title.
Yeah. So program manager, process improvement manager, change management, and continuous improvement manager would all be titles that I would
The
fit
titles.
into. Yeah.
Because I before I mention this, Kara's the only one. I always like printing out when I do an interview, everybody's like LinkedIn profile. Well, I have to say, Kara is, look at all my notes too. 6 pages, all of it printed out, 6 pages. You know how many trees that is? I should have saved it. Look, you see all my notes I was going to ask
Sorry,
you.
Mother Nature.
Yeah, we have Jay on the show for this time. First time watching. Stay alert and be safe.
Jay. He's
Oh,
from
you know
Houston
Jay?
Too. Yeah.
Oh, all right. So that's good.
He's
that you know
always
somebody.
promoting the job seekers. He's in Houston. A great guy.
Is he? Well, now that he's on the show, we'll have to have him on more. Kara, I wanted to ask you, and in all seriousness here, I know we say we laugh and joke too, but what have you learned from when I first interviewed you, we were all going through a lot, with COVID and all that. By losing your job now, I hate to say it like that way, but has it been easier now for you to try to figure out for your next career move? Like, you've learned so much. I've watched how you were on YouTube. You have your own YouTube channel, what the ATS is, you're recruiting. You take everything to heart. And I love that about you. But have you learned anything from previous, I like to say?
Yeah, absolutely. Because the first, about a year ago when I was job searching, I knew nothing. I didn't know what an ATS was. I didn't know how to even go about it other than just applying online, and I wasn't getting anything. And then I did all this research, read so many books, and started posting and getting more information, and started to grow a network organically just by being like, what is going on? What's changed with hiring now that it seems to be so much more difficult? And just found some kindred spirits. And now that I'm back on the market again, I'm realizing the network is so powerful.
Yeah.
I've been so grateful for everyone that's reached out and sending me jobs they think I might like or referring me. I didn't have any of that a year ago because I was so afraid to post on LinkedIn. I thought, I'm going to get in trouble or whatever. And now I'm so glad and thankful that I did.
It is. And just like I watch here, like Janie, Tuvia, and like I said, you want to definitely reach out. He knows Tuvia a lot. We're going to have him back on the show one day. Tuvia, that's a hint. But he really does when he works in Florida and he staffs for like New York, New Jersey, but a lot of remote jobs too. So he handles a lot. So if you go to Jobs Jamach, I probably said that, or you'll see that on there. And he does a lot. Even on the website I have, his link is on there where you just search. And he does a free job postings. So it's really cool. Here we go. It's like that in Australia, Kara.
Oh no, everywhere.
Yeah, because let's see, off work at the moment due to my second COVID. Oh, yeah, they had a lot of issues over in Australia.
Okay, so you get like a leave after?
I'm not sure. Janie, I know she'll chime in on that. Kara, what is something that you like to do outside of work? We're gonna do a little bit more deep dive on what you want, but what do you like to do?
Well, I have gotten into these doing comedy videos. That's been so fun, and people are giving me ideas, and I just kind of poke fun at the whole job searching process. And
fun,
yeah.
If anybody's watching this right now, out of all the whole thing, whether we're doing her interview, I'm sure Jay's seen it. Janie, go on Kara, connect with her, and look at her YouTube videos that she does. What do you call that?
I call it the Hiring Circus is my YouTube channel.
Because you're interviewing yourself, but you're the other person too. Yeah. That's got to be a lot of work. And the way you say it, it's true though. Like what do you find hardest that you've learned trying to find a different position again? What's the hardest struggle for that?
Um, I think it's because the hardest struggle is you have, and we've talked about this before, like you have the resume and you have the job post. They're completely different documents, and yet you're still trying to match them to each other. I think it's building that bridge between the resume and the job post so that the recruiter sees, or the system that's reading your resume sees that you're a good fit for the position. But like you may know you're a great fit for the position, but you don't have all the words that are on the job post. You don't have all the
I
specific,
get that because you put a
you
whole list
know,
of them.
I just it's just such an awkward thing because you're talking about what you do best and all your accomplishments on your resume, and I'll put like a list of skills and qualifications. So like there's no way they would ever or should ever match. The job post should be more about what are you looking for this person to accomplish? And I can say I've accomplished ABC and they need ABC. So I can prove that I can do the job, but instead it's the way it is right now.
Oh, well, Janie wants you to send a connection.
Yes.
Janie, you are gonna laugh so hard when she loves this because in Australia, she's my only friend in Australia. she she's the same thing about the job market, and she went through a lot trying to find that job. And I noticed you had at Invesco, you had 8 years and 3 months as a program manager. I wanted to hit that on there. What again? I know program manager to me, and a lot of people don't realize that can be do a lot of different jobs.
Right.
But what did you do at there for 8 years?
Yeah. So, well, the first few years I was in a different group, but in the last 5 years I was a program manager. That was what I've been working toward for so long. Really lucky I got a chance there at Invesco to do what I do best. And basically, we worked in the back office, financial services operations, and optimizing what we were doing. Right. So every
Okay.
department has that bit of fat or whatnot in their processes, and I'm like what I automate data processing. I do data visualization through dashboards and track our KPIs. I work with our service providers and make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, and also coordinating so that our different offices around the world are working in the same, like aligned on
But what
all
kind
the
of
same
companies?
things.
I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm going to get there.
Yeah, no,
But what kind of, because I've noticed you have a lot of, I mean, when I saw the credit risk and distressed debt juniors, investment analysis, investment specialists. I still don't understand it all. But what type of companies are hiring for positions like that?
Well, I kind of have a dichotomy in my resume because I worked in financial services and I always have, but the last half of my career, I've been doing the continuous and process improvement, which really can be utilized in any industry.
Right.
Program managers seem to be in really high demand right now because you're that person that coordinates among all of the different departments, keeps everyone on the same page, keep the program on track. You know, you need that central person to keep things moving. So that it really could be any industry. It just happens that I'm in financial services.
Because you worked remote, right? That's where you said you worked remote. I just started a new job.
I did in my last in Azillow.
That's really. I just started a new job in insurance claims. You go, Janie. I didn't know they had that in Australia. I always joke around Australia. So what area are you looking for? Like if you had to say, where would you like to work if you had to in your areas or certain cities, towns, or around you?
Yeah, I do need to stay in Houston just for family reasons. I am comfortable going on site, hybrid, remote. I no worries about that. I'm comfortable with commutes and stuff like that. So Houston area.
Houston area. I know it's big.
Great.
I've had a lot of people.
It's really big.
Well, and this is what I say about Texas is I have a lot of connections. Somehow I must have been just in that mood, just kept connecting with Texas. And you hear on the news all the time that there are so many jobs. Texas is everybody's moving to Texas. But yet when you go on LinkedIn, everybody that I've interviewed, if you go back, they're all from Texas.
I've seen a lot of that. Yeah.
Or Austin. Yeah, they're from Texas. And I'm like, either they're the only ones I see on my feed because I feel bad and I like to pay it forward. I've been through just what you've been. I know what it feels like to not have a job. I know what it feels like when you lose a job. I know what it feels like when you find a job. So the purpose of the show, I know it says the Ring of Fire show, was I love Johnny Cash, dress in black, go figure. So when I got the rights to that, it kind of, to me, I want to just help people. And that's why I love doing this, like for an interview. I have gotten, I'm going to say 3 people out of about 18 interviews, a job.
That's pretty good rate.
That's not too bad for not knowing anybody. And then just, like I told you before, to come on the show, it takes a lot. For somebody like yourself, just to come on to a live interview, listen, I don't even know what I'm going to ask sometimes. But, you know, it's just a casual conversation. And I feel what I learned from Tesla when I was recruiting for their site too was they would give you your resume, right? And he taught me. So I would take your resume if I was interviewing. I'd be like, okay, I looked at your resume. Now we're just going to have a conversation. By the end of 30 minutes, I'm going to know about you and you're going to know all about me within 30 minutes. And we just talked about what you've done, just like now.
Oh, yeah. That's the perfect interview.
Yeah. It was not about, well, I did this at this job. I did this. What is your strongest strengths? What is your weaknesses?
Right.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Mm-hmm.
I get it. I really do. But those questions have got to change.
You learn a lot when people just give them open-ended. You don't have to lead them. Don't lead them. Just let them talk about their work and what they've done and how it relates to the job. I think you can learn a lot from that.
It is, because when I look at I'm not going to put anything on there, but when I look at your key skills, okay, I mean, I know you said about words, but strategic oversight, operational planning, supplier management, team leadership, staff training, development, employee oversight, key project management, stakeholder engagement, relationship building, report and documentation, problem resolutions.
Yeah.
Right. So to me, like I said, I've never staffed for this type of a position. Mm-hmm. I'm going to figure it out, because there's so many different sides of what you do.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think, I get it. I guess I get the struggles of trying to put something like this together in a resume.
It is a struggle. I think resume writing is tough and interviewing is tough, and it's kind of one of those things you have to get good at in order to get into it. But it's not everybody has those skills. You'll never use them again.
No,
after you stop the job, you're never gonna write another resume. So it's just an interesting, the whole process. But we all gotta work. I love to work, and I don't like to be in this position. So
no, and everybody like I said, who's watching this show, and if you know somebody in the Houston area, all it takes is one person. You have a great attitude. You laugh. Aww. I mean, I've known you for so long, and even like everybody on the show here, and we haven't met, but I've known you for almost 2 years probably. But what type of job or what type of company are you looking for? I know we talk a lot. You figure since COVID, well, let's say pre-COVID, nobody ever talked about work-life balance. I never heard of that. Now, well, you didn't hear that. Now all of a sudden,
I think they said it, but they didn't quite the meaning really materialized during COVID.
No, because my vision of it is you work like hell and you never go home and you never shut yourself off because you just don't. You're reading all your emails at night. You're reading in the morning. You're getting yelled at. You're getting at this, and you're working 70 hours a week.
Yeah.
But what are you looking for in a company if you were to be interviewed? What are you looking for?
I'm looking for a company that supports, creativity and wanting to make things better. I think if they just want to do the same thing forever, wouldn't be a good fit for me because I'm always trying to help people do their jobs and make it easier for them. So a company that's open-minded, loves ideas and improving. I also love a really supportive, collaborative environment. I don't think work has to be so, of course you're going to be competitive because I'm an ambitious person and I want to move up, but it doesn't mean that you need to put people down to raise yourself up. I don't believe in that at all. You raise
Right.
everybody up, and then everybody's successful. Like that's what I want. Like everybody like cheer each other on, and just realize that we're all working together toward the same goal.
How do you? Oh, let's see what Janie. She's back in here. There's so much work-life balance here in Australia. That we gotta have her on the. I gotta have her on the show one day. Yep. I mean, she's always chimes. I haven't seen her in a while, but I can only imagine work-life balance. I finally found a job I really like. I mean, it is rewarding, and it's still in staffing, recruiting, and I like it. It keeps you busy, and you get to use the skills that you've learned on all that COVID stuff. Oh my God. I look back and I say, but I learned from on LinkedIn here from people like yourself, Janie, geez, I mean, Tuvia, I can go on and on, Bill, and all these guys that sign on.
What's changed for you, like as far as the way you recruit from a year ago?
I'm going to say it's more personable. I don't like emails that are generated. So if I'm looking for people and I kind of look at the demographics, and to me, if I'm doing the videos, would I dress like this when I go and look for logistic guys, and people for logistics and girls, I should say, I don't get in trouble. But if I was to do it with this background and dressed up, I wouldn't get as much attention. But when I go and if I'm out there, and you're doing a video with your cell phone and hey guys, hey everybody, come on down. We're, personable. They get to know you. So I'm always trying to think the way they think. And then when I interview them, it's the same way. We go out and it was like, tell me about yourself. They'll hand me a resume. I don't really even look at it. But I will, like, if real quick, I'll look to see, like, you'll see, like, I look at yours already 5, 8 years, and I can say, well, she's had a great work history. So when I talk to them and when I'm texting, hey, it's Dave. Text me anytime. I don't care. If somebody texts me right now tonight, I text them back. So to me, it comes down as more customer service for your candidates is just as much as your clients. So
Totally.
If that makes sense. What's that?
You've been in their shoes, right?
Yeah. And I know exactly, you've talked about it a lot. And those generated emails, and ghosting, I know you're going to laugh at that, all the ghosting that
I just
happened.
got ghosted today. Actually.
Did you? See? It still goes on, and it's not fair. It's not fair, and I'm going to get irritated when I say it. But if you go through 3 to 4 interviews and they ghost you, the recruiters, I'm going to give some the benefit of the doubt because maybe they were ghosted by their managers, but just didn't do it. But that's still not fair. They need to give an answer to the employee, some kind of closure, something.
Right. I hate that it's become accepted and expected and all of this. I think smart recruiters can take advantage of it and be like, I'm going to be the one that stands out because I correspond and I let them know, hey, Friday afternoon, I'm going to let them know that I don't have any news yet. So they don't worry the whole weekend. All those little things mean so much.
Those on a Friday when they say, well, we'll get back to you on Monday or something. It's like, come on, don't do that to somebody, and make them wait all weekend. And then when you don't hear from Monday, it's a whole feeling. And I think a lot of people that watch the video tonight and check it out tomorrow is everybody knows that feeling.
Right.
So I always try to say, well, how do you feel when this happens? How would you feel? You got to have that tough conversation with someone that's looking for a job. You have to do it. If you're not, then have one of your managers do it for you and say, hey, Carrie, you know what? I didn't choose you for this job, or I asked why, and this was the reason. And but that doesn't make sense. I've had some people come back saying, well, I'm qualified for this. Listen, I tried to get everything out of them, but they just said you weren't chosen because of not skills, but you have them. It's kind of a hard sell.
Yeah, I mean, I think candidates just as equally need to, then you're just the messenger, not come back at you with but, I mean, we just need the closure. Hopefully we get a little bit of feedback so we do better next time. and
Yeah, I think
we
after
go
five
to
or
the
six
soft
times, you get to be a pro. You get to be a pro at it. You're just like, here comes that question. Well, I got that down. But hey, get this. Look, 96 great interview
I'm gonna get
questions.
it.
I'm telling you, it really what I like about it is when you answer a question. Some of the questions in here that they give you are like, why would you ask that? It gives you both scenarios of what you should look for, from body language to even look about somebody's boss. You have to get it. It's really cool. But I want to go back to you on two more things here. So again, we said in Houston, Texas, you want to stay in that area. Project management,
Program management. See,
program management.
what's weird is project management can also be confused with construction. So
Well, that's what I see. This is where I'm going with this because that's what I thought kind of that it is, but it's not.
it's
And,
not, no.
all right, well, you got to give me the. I don't know. I have to read
No,
six
no,
pages.
I'm just letting you know. It happens all the time because
Yeah.
it needs to be more of a distinction,
And have
unfortunately.
you, excuse me, have you figured out new ways that you're going to try to find new work like now? Or between the job boards, have you? I try to tell everybody to go on the company's website, fill it out. You don't have to go on Indeed. Why pay Indeed that money? If everybody, like all the job boards that we talked about from numerous, they cost so much. You can save a lot of money by just going to the company.
I agree. I guess the one thing that I'm trying to do is if I am going to apply to a job board, I see I already know somebody or know somebody that knows somebody, so
Right.
that at least I have a chance of the resume getting seen. It's still painful to think about, spending all the time doing the resume matching and then,
And all that. And then,
nothing. So trying to increase my chances that way, and meeting with other people that are like yourself, trying to help job seekers, and they give me a lot of tips about growing the network and meeting people that are prominent in the industry, and all of these things help. Because like you said, it's the more you can make it a people oriented
right.
relationship type of thing and not a here's a piece of paper. I think the more successful you'll be, and I guess I'll find out hopefully
Yeah,
soon.
right. No, I think you'll do fine. And, it's just like you said, you got a great attitude. And one last thing, too, is like with coming on the show, and again, as I say about doing a live video, you get to show some people, they don't want to take that extra out of that comfort zone. Look, here
Yeah,
you are live on LinkedIn Live, a lot of people watching. And then you always say, well, what if somebody, I always hear, what if they don't like the way I look? Or what if they don't like this? Listen, we've talked about bias before. You're going to have bias whether or not you go to an interview or you come on a video. I'm sorry. If you're not used to video nowadays, something's wrong.
well, I think if you're gonna come on any show, and I'm like the world sized person,
Yeah,
and this is the third time I've been on your show,
that's
and
right.
you make it so easy, and it just feels like a conversation. You don't see people out in the audience. It's not like a
No,
self-conscious kind of thing. I mean, I think of it almost like a Zoom meeting with some friends.
that's it. See, and that's what I like about you. Again, your attitude. And I had to tell Janie, I'll put that in the comments, but connect with Paul Falcone. I'm going to say, she's like, where'd you get that book? Right there, Janie, and I'll send you his information. You can get it right on Amazon. A lot of great books from Paul I've interviewed. But I want to thank you for taking the time, like you always
Thank
have.
you.
And one more time, I want to say, what are you looking for in a company, and what type of work are you looking for? I said that backwards.
So I am looking in Houston or remote. I'm looking for program management, change management, process improvement. You have an operational thing you want to make better. I'm your person. Like I get it done, get it done quickly. I have a lot of technical background as well. I do dashboard, data analytics, that kind of stuff, so I can back up whatever improvements I make with data. And I'm great working with people and getting agreement and running meetings. Um, I just love to help and want to
Nice.
make people's work better. And I'd like to work in a collaborative, supportive environment where we all cheer each other on and we're all united on the cause of making the work and our what we do for clients better. So
See, that's just what you said, and that's what you stated. That's why I like it's real, it's down to earth what you said. But now I had one more question.
okay.
Because when you said when you're trying to get people to change, all right, and when you said that, you have to go a lot off of insights, right? So that's how you can show them. You have to know your insights, and it's not like you're saying, "Hey, we're going to do this," but that's part of the job is finding all that data, right? Getting it all together.
Exactly, exactly. Because I think otherwise it's just a story
Right.
that one person thinks is this way and the other person tells it differently. But when you put it in data and you say, this is, the current state, this is future state, it gives
But,
everybody what they need to feel confident.
all right. That's what I see. That was the last question. When you said data, it takes me a little bit sometimes, but now I understand the difference from the project management to the project, what you're doing in projects. Yeah, I couldn't say the last word, but what you're doing here is the difference. I get it now. And so I'm glad I talked. I learned a little bit about tonight. So, but thank you so much again, Kara. And we're going to, anybody out there, please reach out to Kara Houston and Texas, and we're going to share this and tag everybody. So Janie, everybody on the show tonight, thank you. And I'm going to talk to you right after this. And let's see what I love this other new video here.